Yes, okay. So let me ask you this question first. You'll translate? Are you translating or do they understand English? Since
Yeah,
y'all
they
are so
understand
smart
English.
over
Yeah,
there.
they are so used to speak English, and they are so used to foreign accent, especially American accent and British accent, and even all.
That is so cool. That is so cool. So my name is Rizzo, kiddos. I live in El Paso, Texas. So when you get a chance, Google it and look it up. Look it up. I challenge you to look it up. I live on a border to the United States and Mexico. So I am Mexican American. I speak Spanish fluently and English fluently. So I can tell you that knowing 2 or more languages is going to give you a lot of opportunities. I don't know what your country is like. So after we connect today, if you all want to keep in touch, I'll give you my social media so that I can learn from you about where you're from. I've never been to India, so I have no idea what your country is like, what you do there. I did meet some people from India while I was in New York City this weekend, so that was fun. It's taken me a while to connect with your teacher because I've been out of town a lot, and I wish it was all over the world, but right now it's just all over the United States. So maybe
Yeah,
one day I'll come visit you all there.
yeah, definitely, you are most welcome. So,
Hello.
Hello. I'm so honored to ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Joshna Sri, an eighth grade student.
Hmm.
An eighth grade student, I would like to ask you a question. My question is, what would you say is the most difficult part of being a motivational speaker?
So, okay, the most important part for me, and I think the best part, and what I like to say is I like to tell stories. I try to get away from using the word motivational speaking because I can inspire you to learn. I can inspire you to do more in school. I can inspire you more in life, but it's up to you, kiddos, to really motivate yourselves depending on what you want to do in your near future and why you want to do those things. So for me, I think the most influential part is knowing that I'm guiding kids in the right direction based on what I've lived. Like I said, I don't know what your lives are like in India, but I grew up with a very rough childhood and it made me who I am today. So I think the most influential part is showing kids that you can be anything that you want to be as long as you accept yourself. So
Glad to meet you. This is Navya Sri, an eighth grade student. I would like to ask one question. My question is, what made you want to become a motivational speaker?
So I don't know if you have what we call counselors there in your school, but
no,
it's
we don't have any counselors here.
Counselors or advisors, maybe they
Oh.
give up the classes. Okay, so here in America, we have high school counselors, and what I did as a counselor is I would guide kids in what classes they needed to take. But I was sitting down doing a lot of college readiness, and I wasn't having enough time as a high school counselor with you kids, with kids, guiding them through life. And for me as a teacher, I always taught life, much like your teacher now does. He's really trying to instill life in you all and, to follow your dreams. But for me, it was more about really teaching life. And the best way to do that was to leave education. And I'm not telling you I'll leave your jobs. I'm saying I really wanted to pursue my dreams of speaking life into kids all the time. So for me, that is what made me want to become a speaker, a storyteller, get in front of a group of kids and just tell you, hey, you can do anything you want to do. But I wasn't having that enough of that time in the schools as a counselor. When I was supposed to be meeting with kids, I was doing a lot of computer work. So that's really what inspires me to teach life to you all, to really help you grow. So that's why I wanted to become a speaker and a storyteller. Love it.
Good evening, ma'am. Nice to meet you. This is Jessica, an eighth grade student. I would like to ask you a question. My question is, how would you ensure your speeches are captivating and informative?
Oh, that's a good question. That the storytelling. I tell a lot of stories about my life growing up. I wanted to make sure that my storytelling was authentic, it was real, that I'm not lying to kids, that I want you kids to know that the real me. That's why when I come out, and you know, I introduce myself as Rizzo, I do a little bit of dancing. So if I was there with you all present, in the present, we would be doing a lot of energy and just really giving you the real me. I think the most difficult part about doing what I do is knowing that some of those kids, some of you kids are struggling. Here in America, we suffered a lot with mental health. So I don't know how it is in your country, but if it's anything like our generation is you live in a world where, you know, people are telling you left and right, what do you want, you know, what you should do, but it's really about what you want to do. So it breaks my heart when I see kids that are not doing what they want to do based on what everybody else wants them to do. So I think that's the best way to answer that question.
In fact, in India too, we do have so much mental tension because of the examination stress and the competitive spirit stress. And so many students in India are committing suicide because of the stress that is being
The
built up,
stress, right?
either from the parents or from the teachers. You know
Okay.
that India is a huge country with a lot of population load. In order to get a job, in order to get a seat in a prestigious education institution, you have to strive hard, you have to strive hard. So that's where the tension and stress develops
It
among the
causes a lot of stress.
young kids. So that's the reason we badly need the counselors like what exactly you are doing in your schools, and in order to reduce the stress levels from the young minds. And for
Yes.
instance, if this is the girl, she wants to get a good rank in examination, and she was unable to do it due to the examination stress or some other reasons. If you are the counselor, if she were the student, so how would you counsel this girl?
So if you were my student, number one, you're in 8th grade, you're about do they have Mr. Hari, do they have in high school, do they have 9, 10, 11, and 12? Do they do like America does, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade?
It's a bit different. It's the 10th grade is the last grade in our high school system.
Oh, wow. So you have to be really advanced. Wow. So y'all are a lot smarter than I ever was. If I was counseling you, I would first make sure that you are okay emotionally, that anything that you needed from me emotionally, I could provide to you. If y'all were my students, I would ask you, you know, what do you want to do? What do you want to do in your new future? What are your near future? What are your dreams? What are your goals? What do you want to do? But more than anything, why do you want to do it? Do you want to do it to make somebody proud? Do you want to do it because your parents are making you do it? Do you want to do it? You really have to have a deep purpose as to why. So it really pains my heart to know that you don't have the counselors, because that's our job, to make sure that you are okay, not just academically, but socially and emotionally.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, you go ahead and ask.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Rizzo. Rizzo.
Good
It's
evening,
good
ma'am.
morning to you all. Good, super good evening to me. It's like almost 10 o'clock.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm okay. For being nighttime, it's not too bad.
I am so glad today to ask you a question. My question is, what do you teach as a teen coach?
Okay, why a team coach? Well, let me tell you that, can I be completely transparent with you all? Can I be completely real with you? Yes?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
At your age, I was lost. I was confused. I didn't love myself the way that I love myself now. I do the team coaching because I truly believe that in coaching the kids through self-confidence, if I can develop your self-confidence to believe that you can and you will accomplish anything you want to accomplish, I've already done my job of coaching you, not through your career, your high school, your schooling, your academics, but through really instilling self-confidence in you. And that's really why I call myself a teen coach because I want to coach you kids through self-confidence and make sure that you know what your strengths are and what your areas of growth are so you can continue learning from that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Awesome.
Fine. Yes.
I am privileged to be with you today. I am Ritika, an 8th grade student from Z.P.H.S Ilavaram. Here my question is, which role is your favorite between teen coach and motivational speaker?
Oh, that's a tough one. Chance that I get to work with kids, I'm my happiest self. I need to be my true, authentic self. I get to be the real me. I get to love on you all, love on kids, show you love just by being me. So whether it's as a teen coach or as a speaker, a storyteller, the only difference is that teen coaching, I'm with you one-on-one, but as a storyteller, as a speaker, I'm with all of you just like we are right now. When we finish with these questions, I want to do a little activity so that you all could get a little feel to what it's like to be really present with me as a group, as a class. So I don't think I have a favorite. They're very different, but they both have benefits. I get to meet with you one-on-one as a coach, and I get to meet with a whole group as a speaker and a storyteller.
So please narrate a story where your students came out with flying colors because of your motivation.
Listen to this, sweetheart. Imagine you're 13 years old right now. My students about 13 years ago I had a few students that were lost, a few students that were drinking alcohol, that were getting involved with the wrong crowd. They were not doing things to really please themselves, but to please everybody else. 13 years later, some of those students are 26 years old now, and they're nurses, teachers, they're going to medical school to be doctors. And it's all because 13 years ago, I had a group of students, much like you all in the classroom, as many of you. And I brought them together to do camps, to do little mini camps where I taught them leadership. I taught them life skills. I taught them about what college was going to be like, what their careers were going to be like. And I wasn't trying to say, oh, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. I was literally just speaking life into them. I have so many students I can name to you right now that 13 years later at the age of 26 are very successful because of that group that we had. When I was still young, y'all, because I'm not that young anymore. But if you have, let's say your teacher, for example, right now, if he really speaks life to you all, stay connected to that man, because a lot of the kids that I had when they were your age, I still talk to, and they're my friends because I became part of their lives because I cared about them and I loved on them. I can tell you so many stories of Cassandra, Faith, two sisters, Audrey and Avery, two sisters that I had, where I just gave them love, 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 love when they were needing love the most. And they're very successful now because they followed their dreams with all of their heart. So I know that's a long one, but we don't have all the time in the world for me to tell you all about every single one of those, but they're all my friends now because I developed a good relationship with them.
Wow.
Good evening, ma'am. I am blessed today to interact with you. This is Rehan, an 8th grade student from Z.P.H.S Ilavaram. Here my question is, what is the role of teen coach in the U.S.A schools?
So I don't know if you all have teen coaches in your country, but here in America, teen coaches do different things. Coaches can coach kids through confidence. They can coach them through I know teen coaches that coach them through what we call social emotional learning competencies. And here in America, we have something called the social emotional learning competencies. And let me give them all to you all right away, real quick. We have self-awareness, where you really need to become aware of your emotions, who you are, what your strengths are, what your areas of growth are. Self-management, how do you manage your feelings? What teen coaches here do is they try to show you that you control how you react to certain situations. You control how you react to the things that happen to you. They say, there's a quote that says, life is 90% of what happens to you. And I'm sorry, life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. You have a choice of whether you react angry to something that somebody did to you or said to you, or the words that they said to you, or you can say, brush it off. I have self-confidence. I'm going to manage my emotions. So that's self-management. And then you have responsible decision-making. If you can become so confident in yourself, you can make better decisions. If you can become so confident in yourself, the next one is social awareness. You can become really aware about the people around you. Look at your neighbors. Look at your neighbors. Look at the people sitting next to you. Look at the kids sitting next to you. Something, somewhere, something in their lives is happening right now. And you don't know what's happening to them. So our job is to show you how to be kind to one another, how to love on one another, even if you don't know your classmate next to you. But that's what social awareness is, being aware of the people that surround you. And then the last one, so there's self-awareness, there's self-management, social awareness, responsible decision-making. And oh my gosh, what's the last one? Responsible decision-making and team building, teamwork skills. Being able to build teams with one another. Use them to build life in you, to build love in you. I talk a lot about in teen coaching. I talk a lot about love and self-love. You can put your hands down. Y'all can put your hands down. And the self-love is really, really important, because if you have love for yourself, you know what it feels like when people give you words that try to attack your self-love. So you're not going to be unkind to anybody else. I have a shirt. Let me show you all this shirt. Hold on. Do y'all see this shirt?
Are you able to see this?
Great. It says kindness, right?
Yes.
And what does kindness cost? What are the numbers at the bottom, sweetheart? The one that was talking, the one that's standing up. What are those numbers at the bottom?
So how much does the kindness cost you? Zero.
Zero.
Yeah.
$0.
Yes.
So my job as a teen coach is to show you how to be kind to yourself and how to be kind to others. And I think most teen coaches here in America are doing the same thing, really teaching kids about self-love. It's a lot harder for kids to find self-love. So back in my days, it was hard, but it's a lot harder now. So that's what I do in teen coaching, and I know that that's what a lot of other teen coaches might be doing here in America.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello. I'm so lucky to ask this question. This is P.V. Kumar, an 8th grade student from Z.P.H.S Ilavaram. I would like to pose you a question. My question is, what is the most important motivation for students in the classroom?
The most important motivation for students in the classroom?
Yes.
Yes.
You really need to find your why. As a matter of fact, can we do an activity? Do you all have paper in front of you? Do they have paper?
So do you have the paper? So
Okay, so see, my one word is passion. I want kids to know that you could be passionate about whatever it is that you want to do in your future. So what I want to tell you, because of that one word, is once you find your why, not I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a scientist, but why do you want to do those things? I want to make a difference in people's lives. Or my father is my why. I want to make my father proud. I want to make my mother proud. Once you find that, then you can do anything you want to do, and nothing will stop you along the way. So that's an activity that would probably help answer that question.
thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The question is, what quality should give motivational speaker possess to influence students? What quality should give motivational speaker possess to influence students?
Okay. What qualities?
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you this, kiddos. You have to be able to stand in front of kids. You have to be able to stand in front of people. And a lot of people ask me, how can you stand in front of 500 kids and talk to them? I'm not afraid to show who I am, and I'm not afraid to be completely vulnerable with kids. So you have to be able to not be shy. And even if you are shy, once you get in front of that group of kids, you just give it your all, speaking from your heart. If you are fake, kids notice, you kids will notice when somebody stands in front of you and they're fake. But you know when people are being completely real with you. So the first question, the first thing that I tell you kids is, when you see Rizzo, you're gonna get nothing but realness from her. You're gonna get honesty, you're gonna get vulnerability. I'm gonna be true, I'm gonna be real. And even if it's things that I need to be hard on you for, I'll do it because I feel that's what your generation needs. But I think the qualities are first of all, you know, you can't be shy and you can't be afraid to show who you really are. I think that those are the two of the most important qualities, to really show your true self and your most authentic self.
Thank you.
Awesome. Hey, those are good questions, sir. Those are really good questions. Thank you.
you so
Well,
much.
can I say a few things?
Yeah, please.
So,
We have
yeah,
3
so
minutes.
I know you sent me those questions yesterday, and I was like, oh, I don't know what to expect. You know, I don't know what their school is like in India. I was so excited because y'all are from a completely different world. And you know, I was excited. So I had already put a little message together. So maybe next time we meet, we can do a message where I actually give them a message, and they do a lot of writing, right?
Sure.
But I want you to look at this behind me. Do y'all know Captain America? Yes. Do you follow the American movies? Captain America. So Captain America, yes? Okay. Captain America is was the first Avenger here in the United States. And there's all sorts of comic books about him. But what he says is there is greatness inside you. So what I say to you is, as you go through your school years, you need to be your true and authentic self. Do they know what that word means? The authenticity, to be real. If you want to explain that, maybe you can explain that word to them a little bit more, look it up, and they can look it up. Authentic, to have real authenticity. Once you find that authenticity, you'll find the greatness inside your soul to be anything you want to be and not be afraid of people that are not going to accept you for who you are. But you need to find that true, authentic self. And you stay grounded in who you are. And like I said, 13-year-old 8th graders, at your age, I was lost. I was confused. I went into high school and I did everything wrong. I did not do life right. And that's what you get with me. You get my real, true self to tell you I made a lot of mistakes as a kid to teach me how to do things right. And that's why I'm able to talk to kids about, hey, you know, you can learn from this. You can learn from your mistakes. Every time you fall down, get right back up again. But he says, Captain America says, there's greatness inside you to fight the villains in your life that are going to keep you. And by villains, I mean people that are going to keep you from what you want to be, things that keep you from what you want to be, your surroundings, other teachers that don't accept you, people that don't accept you, whatever those villains are, fight them and find that greatness inside you to be your true, authentic self and hold true to your own identity. So that's a little message that I wanted to give to you all. Next time we can go through the message and I'll give them, you know, a little bit of my story growing up.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. And give her a big hand.
Thank you all so much. I love